There's been a lot of questions, guys, about runes and how runes will affect your gameplay, and the advantage you'll have over your opponent is based on how you equip the proper runes on a proper character. So today, guys, we're going to talk about how to properly use them, what to aim for, and what you should be looking for when you're equipping runes on a character. Check it out. Alright guys, Payneblade back here again with another Summoner's War video. Welcome back, guys, and this time we're going to be specifically talking about something that a lot of people have questions about, and that is runes. Now, the rune system essentially is your equipment system, alright? And right now I've been getting a lot of questions, especially regarding what runes you should be focusing on, depending on the characters that you have. So today I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks on how to equip the proper runes and how to actually acquire the materials, I think it's called mystical dust, in order to get them. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about is when you play this game, you're going to unlock your territory. When you unlock the territory, you're going to also have a craft building created here, okay? Now, there's a couple ways to get yourself what you require to do runes. Now, originally, you're only going to have Energy, Fatal, and Swift, okay? Now, if you look at the set effect, and I've covered this already, you can see here what each one does. Now, the key element here, guys, is you need to have equipped 3 different runes of the same set to get the set bonus. So for example, for energy 15% HP, you need to have 3 of the same energy types in 3 different slots on your character in order to take advantage of the 15% HP. And that applies to everything here, okay? Now, the key element here, guys, in order to create these is using these mystical dusts that you will get through your missions. Okay, so mission office over here actually gives you quests you can do. You can do normal quest, common quest, normal, rare, you can do epic, and you can do, hero, and you can do legend, right? So those are the different levels, just like characters, and each one will give you the ability to get yourself some mystical dust, as well as sometimes have the ability to also get some of these runes. So it's up to you how you want to do this. I personally reset usually till I get the minimum for me is going to be the rare ones, so these greens here, but you can tell here I went for a couple normals. There's a legend one, right? So the legend one actually usually gives you quite a bit. It gives you a rare rune, gives you a hero rune, sometimes even a legend rune. So make sure, guys, when you're completing these, you're aiming for the best possible ones, but just remember, whenever you change one, it does take 50. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and collect these guys real quick. Now, I've done a guide for how to get these already. Check out the tips and tricks section of it. You guys can definitely find that in there for beginner guide, and you can see there I already got one there. And I'm going to explain to you guys how these work and what you want to aim for. All right, now for your characters, for example. So here, I'm going to go ahead and jump into here. And I am personally looking for Energy, Fatal, and Swift at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and create, you can do ×1 or ×10. There is no difference, guys, okay? It's just speed, all right? But there is a difference in terms of your account level and what you can unlock. So you can actually you start off with normals and rares, then you can jump to normal and hero as you level up. And lastly, when you get to level 10 or 11, you get rare and legend. So keep that in mind. Now, of course, based on what you have available to you, you will have a better stat percentage. Now, what do these normal, rare, hero, and legends do? So each rune has a main stat on the left, top, and right ones. So left one is defense percentage always, top one is attack percentage always, and the right one, bottom right, is HP percentage always, but each one has also substats. Now, when you have normal runes, you only have 1 substat up to 2 substats if it's a special rune available to you. When you have a rare one, it's going to be 2 substats available to you. When you have a hero, it's 3, and finally legend, you get the maximum of 4. Now, the benefit of having the higher level version of runes, guys, is the substats. You can only level up substats after you complete getting 4 of them unlocked. So with normal ones, you have to actually use your enchants and unlock 3 of them first before you can actually level up the substats. With the legend ones, though, you can level up substats right from the beginning. So I'm going to show you that as an example later on. But right now, for right now, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to go and craft ×10. We're going to go back to the rare legends. As you can see here, the amount does change based on the quality of it. So I'm going to do 1,000 because I've got 1,973 here, and we're going to see what we get. Okay, so this is how it works. See, I got all green, so that's a really bad pull for me. I'm going to do a couple more here just to see what we get. So I'll do the hundreds. There's another green, collect that. Now, you have the option of selling. I don't recommend, guys, selling runes because you need them to level up your better ones, right? So there's a purple one, so that's good. That's a hero one right there. It's a swift one, not what I'm essentially looking for. This is not. There you go. An HP one is really good. Now these are the substats I was talking about. There's 1, 2, and 3. That's what the purple will give. Legend ones, which are orange one, will give you 4, which means when you start enchanting up to 4 times, it'll automatically start leveling these up randomly. But if you don't have 4 of them unlocked, an enchant will actually unlock 1 more for you before you can start doing that process. Okay, so keep that in mind, guys. We're gonna keep going here. See if I get lucky and unlock a legend. If I don't, that's okay. I just want to show you guys an example of a legend. Okay, so there you go. So these C2 substats for rares, and that's the minimum I can get in this category. Okay. Now I'll show you what happens if you sell. That's why I don't recommend selling. If you decide to sell, you get yourself some blue crystals, but you don't. It's too little for what you're spending. So don't bother doing that. Okay. So there you go, guys. Now let's jump into what you're looking for when you're actually doing it on your characters. Okay, so when you're putting runes into your characters, I'm going to use my Anubis here. Okay, now as you can see here, this is what you want to read. Attack the forefront enemy and grants unrecoverable. So you can do accuracy to make unrecoverable a better chance, but that's not the main goal here. For him, you got to read further. The damage increases according to your max HP. Okay, so that's the key element, guys. Okay, so the max HP, and recovers HP of yourself and the ally with the lowest HP based on the damage dealt. Okay, so if you look at the runes now, I could have gone for accuracy to make unrecoverable more viable, but that's not the goal for him. His goal is to hit hard and keep himself and someone else alive. So I went ahead and added in the HP set. Now, as I mentioned to you guys before, legend ones will give you 4 up front. And if I enchant, you guys can see it's already done. I've done all the enchanting, and it's gone ahead and put in as many of the substats increases as it possibly could. Now, if you look at the green one though, right, this one does not have that. But if you have something called, there's always a noun right before, or an adjective, sorry, right before. So here, this is called a strong energy rune, right? If I go to this one, for example, it's just energy rune. So when you get these special ones with the other name beside it, that means you're getting yourself an extra substat built into it. So that's very important, guys. And that can apply also to legends as well too. So this is a moral energy. See, I got crit rate on this one. This is a normal one. It doesn't have the normal one. So these guys are also viable. So you can get this pretty much for anything. So that's an example of one right there. Now let's go to somebody who doesn't have the telltale sign of what to go for. So let's just look at Lapis for an example, right? So Lapis, where is Lapis? There she is. Very popular unit, one of the best ones. Now she steals the magic power from a frontline enemy and grants shield based on the damage dealt. So that clearly, guys, should tell you that she needs to have the attack one. So attack or crit rate. Now attack is a little better because with attack you're guaranteed 100% of that extra damage that you're putting in. With crit rate and crit damage, you have to actually crit in order for the crit damage to apply. So crit rate isn't as viable at the moment unless you're running Camilla, and then she can do the additional crit rate up to buff, right? But that also hurts everybody else, so that's a whole different story. So for Lapis, you guys, you want to run the attack set. All right, now let's go for another character real quick that you guys may be confused about and don't know what to do. So let's go ahead and find her. Let's see, there she is. Oh, see, what I'm looking for right here. So Konamaya is pretty much telling you brings back the ally card you used last time into your hand and removes all harmful spells. Now that doesn't really give you an indication of what the card really needs, right? So here's what you kind of have to do in this case. You can either give any set essentially. If you need survivability, you can do HP. If you need to have more damage on her, you can do attack. But the smartest card to do, guys, for this one is going to actually be this one over here, the violent cards. Now the violent cards actually do what she does as an effect. It actually has a chance to return her card to you by 30%. So what that means, guys, is when you use her, she has the ability to come back into your deck instantly for 30% every single time. So I've had this spam for me 5-6 times in a row, and it's incredible because you can bring back another card that you used prior to her and continue spamming that as well. So those are the things you want to do. Now let's talk a little bit about powering up and enchanting. So enchanting, guys, you actually need to get these scrolls. You can get them through PvP, collecting them through rewards, and what this does is it actually levels up your substats, or it adds an additional substat, you can see here, to your rune. Now once you're done doing that, there is the ability to power them up. Now powering up is where you need to actually use other runes to level up the one you currently have. So for an example here, I'm going to go ahead and do this one real quick for you just to show you. So if I power up, it does require the blue crystals, and then what it does, guys, is it changes the HP percentage, so the main stat to a higher percent. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and do this real quick, and there you go. Now you see 4.8% instead of 2%. it does not affect your substats. So enchanting affects substats. Your powering up affects specifically your main stats. So keep that in mind. The higher the level, guys, so of rarity, so legends take a lot more to power up than do heroes, normals, and rares, right? So keep that in mind. This is huge, guys. It's a major part of the game, and it's a part that you guys don't want to be missing out on. It is a huge advantage to you to start putting in runes as much as you can, whether they're even normal ones. That extra little bit of 15% to 20% and those substats will make such a drastic difference in your gameplay, especially if your opponent does not know how to use them correctly, right? So that's the way to do it. Essentially, guys, just make sure you have your runes set up properly on the proper characters, and you guys, the sky's the limit at that point. So make sure, do not sell them, actually use them, and don't be afraid to power them up even if they're low level. All right, guys, this is Payne. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope it was helpful. Have a wonderful day, everybody. We'll talk soon.